Let's talk about 3 things that the rich are obsessed with. Now, there are things that the poor and middle class are obsessed with. They're obsessed with buying things. They're obsessed with owning things. They're obsessed with paychecks. They're obsessed with pay raises, 401ks, retirement accounts, taking vacation, living in a nice neighborhood on a nice block in a nice home, buying a nice car. That's what the middle class and the poor are obsessed with. When I was poor, I was obsessed with getting my next paycheck so I can buy something. I was obsessed with getting a pay raise because I needed it. Lord knows I did. I was obsessed with January's because it was income tax return check and the government would help me. I was obsessed with all that. I'm telling you I was. And now I'm not obsessed with any of those things. The only thing I'm obsessed with, well, we'll talk about in a second. But I want you guys, before I jump into it, to hit subscribe, smash thumbs up, and welcome to the channel. So let's dive into it. Let's talk about, because I always tell you guys that there's obsessions that make you poor. There's obsessions that make you wealthy and free. So I've already talked about what the poor and the middle class are obsessed with. Going to school, getting good grades, getting a good job, working their way up the corporate ladder, saving money in bank accounts, buying a house, right? Stuff like that. That's what the poor and the middle class are obsessed with, right? But let me talk to you about what the rich and the wealthy are obsessed with, right? Because I have friends who are rich and wealthy. I have friends who make, if they don't make, $5 million that year, they feel like they missed out. So I don't know what that feels like, but I hope to know very soon. So again, you have to be obsessed with some things. And if you're the rich and the wealthy, or if you just have that mindset, then your obsessions have to shift, and your obsessions will become the same way theirs are. They're obsessed with financial freedom. Why? They don't want to have to go to work, trade their time or their lives for a paycheck like you do. They want to be able to control their time. So they're obsessed with financial freedom. They want to make enough money to do what they want to do when they want to do it. Right? They want to make a bunch of money without having to go to report to a job and punch a clock. Why? Because that requires time. There's no freedom if you don't control your time. You're not free from the 9 to 5. Think about it. I can hit you up, say, hey, let's go have lunch, or let's go do this. Let's go shopping in the mall. And you're like, no, I can't because I'm at work. See, you're not free. Hey, let's go fish. Let's go golf. Well, I can't because I'm at work. See, you're not free. You don't have the freedom, right? And so you have to go to work to get the money. But unfortunately, the work costs you the time. And the time is the most valuable thing you have, so you pay them more to go to work than they pay you to come to work, right? Something else rich people are obsessed with. They're obsessed with time freedom, and we're kind of talking about that now. They're obsessed with time freedom. They want to control their time. They're obsessed with financial freedom. They want to make as much money as they can and not have to go to work to get it. Financial freedom to me is cash flow. Living off cash flow. You guys can make $10,000 a month on a paycheck. It's going to cost you a lot of hours and a lot of pain, a lot of traffic time, a lot of headaches and heartache. I make $10,000 a month cash flow from a business. I don't have to leave the house. See the difference? You get taxed 40% of your income. I pay my taxes once a year. See the difference? And I don't have to pay taxes if I can write everything off. You can't. W-2 is the worst way to make money. Don't quit your job, just telling you. Right? And then we'll get into the last one. But before we do, just want to tell you guys that this Thursday night, if you missed it, don't miss this one. This Thursday night, 7 p.m. Texas time, that's Central Standard Time, I'm going to be teaching you. So if you got about an hour, I'm going to be teaching you financial principles, financial education. Please pop in. It's free. And then after that, I'm going to teach you how to use those financial principles to start a business from your phone, a mobile phone business. Means that, yes, your business is on your phone, on your laptop, on your computer. You do not have to leave the house to make money. I'll teach you how to do it from your phone. I've been doing it since 2020. It's all I do. I have a middleman business. I'm simply the middleman. I don't do the work. All I do is find a customer, match the customer with the business, get paid to do it. Takes about 5-10 minutes per customer. I make on average about $150 per booking. If you want to learn how to make $150 or so booking a customer from your phone without having to leave your house, without having to do the work, then put the word middleman in the comments below to get the registration link. Or you can simply go to the video description, grab the registration link, and log in. Please don't miss it. We're going to have a blast, and you're going to be with all the other students who's having a great time. It's going to change your life. Just learning how to make money from your phone is going to be life-changing. Please be there. All right, so the last one is going to be lifestyle freedom. The rich are obsessed with lifestyle freedom, and I could go on and on. But lifestyle freedom is very important to the rich, because the rich not only want to make a bunch of money, have the time to do whatever they want to do with the money, but they want to live a certain way. So you won't see the rich people looking for houses in bad areas, right? In the ghettos, in the hoods, in the slums. You won't see that. Why? Because they don't want that lifestyle. When I was poor, I had a poor lifestyle. So I was comfortable around poor people. I was comfortable around violence. I was comfortable in bad environments. But when you get a little bit of money, and that's all I got, a little bit of money. And when you get a little bit of money and you want to move to better things, better environments, guess what? I can't imagine going back to the hood. I can't imagine being in the slums. I can't imagine being in bad areas that are not safe. Cannot imagine that. So when you guys shift your mindset and things start to change for you and you get away from those environments, trust me, you're never going to want to go back. That stuff's never going to be comfortable to you. Even having conversations about being poor is not going to be comfortable to you anymore. Now a lot of you guys are comfortable hashtagging struggle life and doing my best and day to day and hustle and grind and let me get up and get this check. And I'm telling you, your life will change. Once you start getting cash flow, once you start appreciating your time and wanting to get your time back. And when you sit there and have this conversation with yourself that says, hey, I don't want to work until I die, and I don't want to sell my life for a paycheck. What can I do to set myself financially free? What can I do to give myself a better lifestyle? What can I do to control my time? Sure, I could be at your job the 9 to 5, or I could be on vacation for 9 to 5 and still make money. Which works best for you? Right? That's a rhetorical question, because I know which works best for you, and so do you. So again, the goal is time freedom, financial freedom, lifestyle freedom. The rich are obsessed with those things. That's why you can't get the rich to fill out a job application. They won't do it. Why? Because it's too expensive. It costs too much to sell my time for 40 hours, to sell 40 hours of my week for a paycheck that someone else invades before I even get paid. I did all the work, I get my paycheck, then I find out I didn't make all the money. What happened? Well, there's this thing called gross, which is what they promised you, and there's this thing called net, which is what you get. So wait, they promised me this and I didn't get that? Yeah, but I did all the work under the premise that I would get that. Yeah, it's called taxes, baby. And then that ain't the end of taxes. They tax everything else after that. Ouch. You guys have got to get out of the slow lane. You've got to get out. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm going to let you go. I promise. First of all, there's nothing wrong with being rich. Please don't apologize to anybody for saying you want to be rich. Please don't apologize to anybody for saying you want to be wealthy. I grabbed this coffee just a few minutes ago before I jumped on this video. And before I go and start doing some work, just decided to do a quick video. Stop, grab the coffee. Okay? Normal activity. Getting my coffee, pulling out the drive-thru. I see something that breaks my heart, almost puts me in tears. And I see this, and I'm like, what am I seeing? And I know what I'm seeing, but I'm hoping I'm not seeing it. Because years ago, I was homeless, living in my truck. So I know what it looks like. If I see you and I see certain things in your vehicle, I know you're homeless. Because I've been homeless. And it ain't fun, and you don't want to do it. And I see this lady get out. She's barefoot, you know, she's kind of dingy, kind of dirty. So I know she don't have access to the things she might need to take care of herself. And then she opens the back door and this grown man get out. He's probably sleeping in the back. They're probably falling on hard times. Bunch of stuff in the truck, can't see out the windows. Gotcha, I know what it's like. Breaks my heart. But then it got worse. It went from a broken heart to this crushed me. As I was pull out at the light, and I'm still looking back and I see this lady, and it just crushes my heart because I'm like, man, it's so hard out here. I don't understand. I'm not telling you who to vote for. You have freedom to vote for whoever you want to vote for. But I don't understand how some of you are really considering running it back, running this election back. You don't have to be a fan of everybody. Everybody's not going to be perfect. I get people in my comments all the time say, Shon, but this person ain't perfect as a candidate. They got their issues. Listen, don't you? We all have issues. There ain't no perfect. God does not have perfect people on this earth to work with. He worked with us as we are, imperfect. So your candidate might be good on some issues, bad on some. The candidate I like, good on some issues, bad on some. That's just the way it is. You have to determine which are the issues you can't live without. And there's some I can't overlook. Okay? Now, I saw something that crushed me. And what I saw is two beautiful, beautiful kids. They might have been twin boys. They couldn't be no more than 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm assuming they're biracial. You know how they are, beautiful, flowing, curly hair. And these remind me of my son, and they got out. And they had on school uniforms because they were parked at the donut place, which is right across the parking lot from the school. So they didn't pull up at the school. They stopped over there, and I know why. And these kids got out, and they were trying to fix their clothes. Imagine, being a kid living in a vehicle, getting out, trying to fix your clothes. You're wrinkled. You probably don't smell great, and you got to go into the school, which is, I've been there, done that. It ain't pretty. But these kids looked like they had a good attitude. They were not fussing. They were not angry. And it just crushed me. It broke my heart. I was thinking to myself, like, man, I bet if Shaq was here, because Shaq is such a good dude. If Shaq was here, man, Shaq would have pulled over, bought a month or 6 months worth of hotel. It might have bought them food. And I was like, man, if Shaq was here, Shaq would have pulled over and blessed those people's lives with no cameras. And I'm like, man, I don't know their situation, but I got kids, and I've been a child that's homeless. I've been an adult that's homeless, and it's breaking my heart. And I'm telling you, it almost brings tears to my eyes just thinking about this. This ain't even got a whole lot to do with this video. Just telling you, it just crushed me. I just had to share it with somebody. I don't know. It just broke my heart to see that. And those two little kids got out of that back seat. And they looked the same, and they looked about the same age, and they were putting their little uniforms together, and they were just standing there, I guess, waiting to get walked to the school. And I was like, man, if that doesn't give you perspective on how blessed you are in this life. I know that things are not the way you would love for them to be. I know. A lot of people don't get that. I know that the house you live in ain't your dream house. Gotcha. Car you driving ain't it. Gotcha. But are you living out of your vehicle in a parking lot? Even worse, do you have your kids with you? It's one thing. When I was homeless, it was sad. It was very depressing. It was not fun. But you know what would have made it worse, and thank God it didn't have to be that way. You know, if I would have had my kids with me, that would have made it worse. So, because think about things. As parents, you go through some things, and you're like, I can deal with this. But if I got even sickness, like coughing and colds, I find myself like, man, I hate that my kid has this. If I could take it away, I would. Right now. I don't care what it is. I'll take it away. And as a parent, you'll do that all the way to death. I don't care. I used to say, man, I love my kids so much that if my daughter Shania, if she would have, I used to say this years ago, I was like, if Shania would have done something really stupid, I don't know, just she was young, but if one day she walked into a bank and just started shooting people, and they gave her life in prison and the electric chair, and she deserved it because she hurt a lot of people. As a parent, I would say, I don't care what she did. I'll take her place. Well, you're going to take her place in death? Yep, let her go free. For any kid, no matter what they do. That's just apparent. So just imagine being in a position where you're down and out, and your kids have to be a part of it. To me, that's a bad feeling. And but the reason I said that is to, first of all, give you perspective on your life. It ain't as bad as you think it could be, or it ain't as bad as you're making it out to be. And I'm talking to myself too. And secondly, it is hard out here for almost everybody. Why would we run it back? Why would we run back another 4 years of this? These people out here need help. People out here need a break. People out here need some guidance. People out here need opportunity. We don't need our bacon to be $10. It's cheaper to buy the pig. We don't need that. I'll tell you something, I'll let you go for the third time. I hear a certain candidate. I'm not telling you to vote for her. You vote for who you want to vote for. I have no problems with you. I just want you to vote. There's a particular candidate who says that, in order to, get the prices down and defeat inflation, that, you're going to have to address the high cost of production and what farmers are paying and blah, 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 and all this down the supply chain, right? And I would love to ask this presidential candidate, if your goal was to make sure that people can afford things, is it not true that pretty much everything needs fuel to move around? Yes. And because it needs fuel to move around, if the fuel price increase, doesn't that increase the price of shipping, of buying, of selling, of growing, of producing? Everything pretty much down the supply chain? Yes. Okay, gotcha. So now that we know fuel is important, and fuel is a part of the problem that we have today, high fuel prices, especially diesel, and now that we have to ship that from the East Coast to the West Coast, it's going to cost more because fuel shipping costs more. Then why did you and your administration on the first day of office cut off the Keystone pipeline here in America that allowed fuel prices to stay low and allowed prices of food to stay low so that the average family could afford it? If your goal, like you say, is to help the middle class and help the average person, then why did you hurt them to begin with? Why did you cut off our fuel supply? Now that we'd have to buy fuel supply from other countries, they charge more to import it. Make it make sense. That's why one candidate keeps saying, drill, baby, drill. Why? Because if you can get the fuel prices down, you can get the food prices down. Drill, baby, drill. That's what they're saying. Meaning, we're going to start drilling at home again. We're going to stop depending on those other countries. All right, I've said enough. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. Welcome to the channel for those who want to change their life. I'll see you in the free live training. You know what to do. Put Middleman in the comments below to get the link. I'll see you there. Peace.